Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Charlemont High in mourning as senior VP passes away. Students and staff at Charlemont High School in Newton, St. Catherine are now in mourning following the passing of Senior Vice Principal Jennifer Giddon. Giddon, 62, died yesterday morning after a protracted illness. She started at the school in September 1988 and was appointed to the post of Vice Principal in September 2006. She was described by her colleagues as a great person who brought out the best in those she came in contact with. Vice Principal Mark Ware, who worked with Giddon for 20 years, told reporters that she has impacted the lives of students and staff, noting that the school had a special place in her heart. Soldier injured in checkpoint incident in Denham Town, Zozo, says JDF. The Jamaica Defense Force JDF is reporting that a service member was injured by a resident in the Denham Town Zone of Operations, Zozo in Kingston on Monday. According to the Army, the soldier was attempting to conduct a search of the resident at a checkpoint and was attacked with a sharp object. It says residents became hostile towards service members while they were attempting to detain the individual. The situation was eventually brought under control. The Army is appealing to anyone with information relating to this or any other matter of a security nature to call the JDF tip line at 876-837-8888. The JDF is also appealing to residents of communities within which the security forces are required to operate to cooperate with personnel. Manchester crash victim identified. The man who succumbed to his injuries following a three-vehicle crash along the Content Main Road in Manchester has been identified. He is Colton Sims, 49, who was of a poor's address in the parish. It is reported that sometime after 6 p.m. on Tuesday, Sims was traveling in a Honda Civic towards Williamsfield when he collided with a garbage truck and a Honda step-wagon traveling in the opposite direction. Firefighters were subsequently called to the scene to remove him from the mangled vehicle. Simpson, along with the driver of the Honda, were taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. PPV operators in Spanish Town protest over vehicle seizures. Upset taxi operators yesterday mounted a protest along St. John's Road in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, over the seizure of vehicles by the authorities. The demonstration caused traffic delays. Reporters were informed that operators of public passenger vehicles had had their cars seized for operating contrary to their road license. According to the protesting cabbies, at least 20 vehicles have been seized. We need the Transport Authority to give us a meeting on how best to solve the problem, said Brenton Major. The agency regulates the public passenger sector. Whenever your vehicle is seized, it costs between $25,000 to $30,000 to get back the vehicle, which is licensed at $16,000 annually, Major noted. A police team was deployed to the scene to clear the protest and regulate traffic. Closed gap in payment of death benefits to cops' relatives, says Bunting. Opposition spokesperson National Security Peter Bunting is advocating for a closing of the gap in death benefits to the relatives of fallen members of the constabulary force. What now exists is a glaring distinction which should not continue. An officer who dies while on duty, his family gets $14 million. Another officer who dies off duty, his family is entitled to only 3 months' salary, Bunting noted. He was addressing the 79th annual conference of the Jamaica Police Federation at Ocean 10 Hotel in Coral Spring, Trelawney. This is unfair, and the government should see to it that this distinct be discontinued, Bunting charged. The opposition spokesperson said the change is needed, given the important role played by members of the constabulary force. It is one of the most stressful occupations known to man. The murder rate in Jamaica makes it more stressful, he said. What we see on social media emphasizes the difference in how officers are trained. The training of soldiers is different from that of the police. The incident where a soldier is seen using his rifle to beat a pregnant woman shows the difference in training. The Jamaica Defense Force JDF cannot do the work of the police. They are not equipped so to do, Bunting stated. Police want motor vehicle scam victims to come forward. The police are appealing to persons who were scammed by motor vehicle fraudsters to come forward. The police say the scam operated in the vicinity of the Tinsupen Aerodrome and Kingston Wharf on Marcus Garvey Drive. They say potential car buyers who were promised good deals on motor vehicles by the imposters. It is alleged that men falsely purported to be Mr. Darrell Valls, Mr. Kenneth Trainer Black, or Jeffrey Hall indicated that they could provide motor vehicles that were up for auction. As fraud investigations continue, the police are urging persons who have fallen victim or may know possible victims to come forward. Persons are encouraged to contact the fraud squad at 876-922-2374 or email fraudsquad@jcf.gov.jm. Infants among hospitalized COVID-19 patients. 2 infants are among the 3 severely and critically ill people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 as the number of children occupying bed space at health facilities across Jamaica climb. Dr. Nadine Williams, Director of Health Services, Planning and Integration in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, made the disclosure while speaking to journalists during a virtual COVID conversations. Williams said that a 1-month-old with significant comorbidities is the only critically ill person being treated at hospital, while a 1-year-old is one of 2 people listed as severely ill. She said that infants have been diagnosed with severe heart disease. So it is important to note with respect to our severely ill, there have been a significant decrease in the numbers, but we do note that there is a mild uptick over the last 3 weeks, said Williams, who added that there has been a slight increase in hospitalizations, with 79 people taking up bed space. She said a breakdown of hospitalization shows that in the last 3 weeks, there has been a creep up, in particular, in the number of children who have been hospitalized with COVID-19. Between April 25th and May 15, 9 children have been hospitalized after contracting the virus. At the same time, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bisosa Mackenzie said that the Health Ministry is moving to procure approved COVID-19 vaccines for children between the ages of 5 and 11. Bisosa Mackenzie said that the ministry is in dialogue with several countries to acquire the vaccines. Already, several schools have been forced to revert to online classes for some grades amid an outbreak among their populations. COVID-19 vaccines are available to children 12 years and older. We have good indication from the United Kingdom and from Spain that we could get 5 to 11 vaccines available. However, we don't have a specific time on when these would arrive in the country, Bisosa Mackenzie stated. As a result, she said that the Health Ministry is not yet in a position to update the country on when administration for that age group will begin. We are in discussions and negotiations concerning getting these vaccines, she said. Only 25% of Jamaica's population is vaccinated. Government monitoring 5th wave of COVID-19, says Prime Minister. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the government is closely monitoring the coronavirus COVID-19 situation in the country and will take appropriate action if needed. Clearly, if our monitoring shows that we need to take certain preventative actions, we will very quickly and very rapidly mobilize. We have never demobilized. We are still prepared and ready to act, he said. According to a release, Holness, who was speaking at the official handover of the Port Royal Street Coastal Revetment Project in downtown Kingston on Wednesday, May 18, urged citizens to remain vigilant and alert as the country is now experiencing the 5th wave of the pandemic. I believe the Ministry of Health and Wellness would have alerted the nation that we are in the 5th wave, as we had always expected, but what we have observed is that citizens may have become complacent believing that the pandemic is at an end, he said. The Prime Minister stressed that the government never declared that the pandemic was over, but that it was the endemic phase, meaning that we are going to have to learn to live with this thing. It will come over and over and over again. What is happening now is that we're seeing increased infections being detected as we go back to our full operations, including going back to school. So we are encouraging all Jamaicans to protect yourself. We know the public health protocols now, he said. The Prime Minister stressed that it is now the personal responsibility of every citizen to protect themselves, to urge persons to continue to follow the health protocols to reduce the risk of infection. Wear your mask, sanitize your hands regularly. If you are ill, stay at home. If you don't have to go out, then don't. Be careful of how you move around in crowds. Just be very conscious of your environment, he warned. KSAMC resolution points to the shortage of public parking facilities in Halfway Tree Crossroads. A resolution passed at last Tuesday's Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation Council meeting has highlighted the acute shortage of public parking facilities in Halfway Tree and Crossroads in St. Andrew and has urged the KSAMC to play an active role in solving the problem. The resolution urged the corporation to identify properties in Halfway Tree and Crossroads where public parking facility can be established and partner with public and private sector investors to develop such facilities. The resolution said that the KSAMC should engage the services of the Development Bank of Jamaica or other such entity with a view to establishing partnership with potential investors in the public or private sector to help with developing such facilities. Pointing to the traffic congestion in Halfway Tree during business hours, the resolution moved by People's National Party PNP Councillor Neville Wright, Trenchtown Division, stated that neither the parish court in Halfway Tree, which deals with a significant number of criminal matters, nor the Passport, Citizenship and Immigration Agency, head office on the Constant Spring Road, will attract clients from across the island, has adequate parking facilities. Wright suggested that a parking facility with several floors should be developed at the Constant Spring Arcade. He also said that lots owned by the KSAMC at the Hagley Park Plaza should be used for parking. White said that the KSAMC also owns property in Crossroads that could be repurposed for parking. He suggested that the corporation enter into an agreement with the Palace Amusement Company to enable its parking facility in Crossroads to be used for public parking during the daytime. Jamaica Labour Party Councillor Carrie Douglas, Trafalgar Park Division, said the resolution was timely and that greater partnership was needed between the municipality and central government to tackle the problem. JLP Councillor Donovan Samuels, Tivoli Division, who seconded the resolution, said that creative solutions were needed to solve the parking problem. According to PNP Councillor Eugene Kelly, Whitfield Town Division KSAMC investments in public parking facilities could help to improve the income stream of the corporation. Meanwhile, JLP Councillor Vernon MacLeod, Havendale Division, believes the Constant Spring Mall is underutilized. We need to sit down and make plans for the car parks, he said. For Andrew Swaby, PNP Minority Leader, Vineyard Town Division, churches should be part of any discussion as they own significant amounts of property in Halfway Tree and Crossroads that could be used for public parking. He mentioned that the Anglican Church owns property in Crossroads where the St. Luke's Church and the Nuttall Hospital near located, and the St. Andrew Parish Church in Halfway Tree. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.